Hi folks, I'm Stephen Crone, and today's painting was a bit of a struggle, to be honest with you. I've used a reference photograph and I'll put on my Patreon page so you can see where I was working from. Let's just start it off with a bit of water and then a little bit of colour in the sky. Clean the brush, now I want to go darker now. These are in ultramarine. Same again, bit of Payne's grey, bit of red in the mix as well. Let's run this down the bottom. And then just going to put the hints of some distant land. I'm going to bring it lower down than what's in the reference photograph. So I'll post the reference photo on my Patreon page to be able to see what I'm working from. So I'm doing this. This is like a sort of first draft, really. Just the first layer of all the tones, really, is what I'm trying to achieve. There's a bit of blue there. I'm going to dry that. Put it tight first. I'll give that a quick dry and then continue. You know, if I was more careful, I'd have retained a lot more of those colours, but I tend to, I'm always overdoing it. It's such a difficult job just keeping that restraint. But this is what I'm going to call sort of layer number 2. So similar sort of thing. I'm going to lay on some various bits of colour. Doing around the palette, bit of this, bit of that. Start off with the lights, and then I like to go into the darks. It's all about creating that sort of tonal contrast. Now, to some it might look like a total mess, but hopefully it will start to look like a proper painting after a bit. Let's just soften all this off. And again, what I'm going to do is give that a quick dry. Sort of fix in place most of what I've done, not all of it, because I do mess about and disturb a lot of it. You've probably noticed a lot of it's trial and error. there's no real plan to it. It's sort of painting by instinct and just seeing what sort of effects you can create. I know the basic idea of what I want to do, but how long it takes me to get there, I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. I'm just painting until it looks the part. A lot of this is dark, so I might as well start putting on some darks down the bottom. Dark foreground. And also, where I want the light to be. So we've got maybe some light there. It's going to be light there as well. There's going to be a bit of light up there as well. Just looking to soften everything off. Just soften it all off. As the paper stretches, I just refix it. Oh, this time, let's try and get some proper darks on there. Now this needs to be, I want this big dark clouds up there. Just the main basic part of where the tonal values are going to be. Sweeping in there like that. Right, then what I'm going to do now is switch to the little brush, just so I can just focus a little bit better. Just honing in on those core values. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wipe it all out. Right, let's start again. Raw sienna first. And this time I'm just going to stick with try and reduce the number of colours I'm using. I think that might help. That's what I'm going to do. Reduce the colours. Wet it with a brush this time instead of, although I don't think it was quite dry when I did that. this time I might use the little brush for making the lighter sections. A little bit darker actually, because I'm going to put some beams in there, so that will hopefully bring those light rays out a bit better. If I just strengthen these a little bit more. This is pretty much just a massive dark in the foreground. I'll try and put these beams of light in and just see what it looks like. So I'm just going to use the small light brush for this. So if you imagine the sun's coming from up here somewhere, I'm going to start just following that line, so we're sort of starting off like that. And then coming. Remembering to keep cleaning the brush between each few strokes. They want that nice and light anyway. Get that foreground nice and dark. Let's just wet the sky area. Right, just going to stick some little boats. I think if I carry on anymore, I'm going to end up ripping my hair out. So I'm just going to stick some little boats. See if I'm going to focus. I was tempted to use some gouache. I don't know how well these are going to stand out. So I'm just going to use some gouache. If I can find it. just use the little rigger brush, I think. I just only want them tiny. So I'm just using a little zero brush. And I'm just going to take the gouache straight out of the tube. I'm just going to dip the very tip in. I'm going to float there, another one there, something like that. I think that's all that needs. Well, I'm just going to sign this thing and then put a mount on and see whether I'm going to throw it in the bin or not. So I'll just sign it with a bit of red, just take a bit of red off the palette there. Right, let's stick a mount on that now and see what it looks like. So here's our finished painting in the mounts. So that's what I was using as a reference. I'll stick that photo on my Patreon page so you can look at it. I think originally I was just putting too many different colours on there and making it just overcomplicating the colour palette. In the end we've gone with a very sort of limited palette type of look. Just try to focus on getting these sun rays coming from up there with varying degrees of success. And a bit of light on the water. Just used a bit of gouache there just to pop those boats in, just to give it a focal point really. You see a lot of this distant land just softens off behind the light, and then as it sort of sweeps around in the foreground it gets really dark. Put it on in 3 or 4 separate layers, drawing in between just to get that dark tone, so it contrasts nicely against the light shining on the water. So I hope you like that. Bit of a struggle, that one. Got something fairly presentable in the end. Not the best painting I've ever done, but good practice in creating those rays of light, I think. So thanks as always for watching. Many thanks as always to the patrons, and if you want to join us all over there, you can visit us at patreon.com/Stephen Cronin.